Hello, welcome. Actually, let me turn this on real quick. I can't, so we're not going to. So, I just finished the second playthrough of NieRAutomata. I was getting kind of tired of it towards the end and all the side missions and stuff because I would say a good 90% of the content was the same as what I had just done. And I don't know. I don't mind grinding, I guess, a little bit, but at the same time, I don't really want to play the same game over and over again. I don't watch the same movies over and over again. I don't watch the same TV shows over and over again. I like to see new content, experience new things, see new parts of the story, stuff like that. Um, so I feel like God, if you're watching these videos, you know I've played for what? We must be getting on 20 hours. I think I have about 8 videos for the first playthrough, 8, and then like 17 minutes for the final fight because I didn't realize the game was about to end. So that's at least a good 9 hours there because some of them went over an hour. And then what is this? Another 8 videos, so that's another 8 hours. Which was weird because I'm 17 hours or so into this game, but I feel like I've been playing a lot longer than that, if that makes any sense. A lot of other games, I have, 300 hours in Rocket League, 3,000 hours in Dota 2. I don't know. I don't know. I guess those are different. They're multiplayer. I don't really have story games that I put that much time into. Maybe Borderlands 2. But, I don't know. It's interesting. It raised some new questions, answered a couple questions. I kind of figured mankind was dead. I guess that's the big reveal in the second playthrough is that they've been dead for a while. I I mean, I think I might have even mentioned in one of my videos. I don't really remember, um, but it is kind of. I mean, it's cool. It's like a cool story, you know. I mean, it's something that's still not explained, but I feel like we've gotten foreshadowing and hinting of when it talked was the Gestalt project, and it's talking about the separation of the human body and the soul and the preservation of both. I mean, that's what I feel like that must be the explanation for why these androids and these machines are starting to like act human, right? Because the androids essentially act human. They're our stand-in. They're how we relate to this game through the androids, which are essentially, I mean, they're human. I mean, they say they're androids and they act like, but they act just like humans. They act just like people. You know, maybe people have a different culture because they're from the future and maybe a little different than where we are now. But at the same time, they're who we relate to. It's who we play through. They're people. They're humans. Um, but at the same time, they keep saying they're androids, and maybe on some sort of um, at a biological, I don't know if that's the right term, mechanical, if because they're androids at some level. I mean, we watched them kill those 2 dudes and they bled, right? Blood. I mean, why would androids have blood? Maybe I don't understand what an android is. Maybe I'm confusing that with like a cyborg or something. Uh, and maybe that's where I'm missing this. I should probably Google that. So, well, I guess that's kind of interesting because it's kind of involved with the same thing of like Westworld, right? Like Westworld had the hosts who were not human but were manufactured, but they were so lifelike that you can't even tell the difference. So it's asking. So I think this game is asking essentially the same question as Westworld: what makes us human? I think that's the real motif behind this game, behind the story, and what they're trying to tell us. And I mean, that's cool. That's a great question. What is it that makes us human? Um, so I don't know. Maybe the stories, maybe also the game is trying to answer that question while asking it at the same time. I mean, we see the relationships between 9S and 2B seem very real, and while 2B seemed a little bit aloof about their relationship from the beginning of the story, towards the end of it, she definitely cared for 9S, so there was a bond that was built there, and I wouldn't expect androids to have an emotional bond. I just wouldn't expect that. And then, I guess, and with the comparison to Westworld, were they designed to have that? Is this something that's been programmed into there, or is this something that they're like learning or adapting, or or maybe it's because of their ties to their desire to protect humans and mankind. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Um, not as so many answers, I guess. But maybe that's just it. Maybe there are answers. I just haven't gotten there yet. I mean, it kind of answered my questions about where mankind was. You know, I was like, are the resistance people, are those humans? Are the people on the ship in space, are those humans? Where are the humans in this game? Well, okay, they're all dead. The aliens are all dead. So all we have are machines and androids. And what's the real difference between that? I mean, aren't they the same? So maybe they're both on opposite spectrums, but at the end of the day, they'll end up in meeting in the middle. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to find out. So I guess I will see you guys in the next playthrough.